Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. I am excited for this video for one reason and one reason only. Sealers. Okay, sealers. Elichem have sent me two of their brand new sealers you can use with Jesmonite, Hydroflow and any acrylic resins. I'm excited, let's test them. Most of you will have heard of Elichem already. I've done videos with Elichem in the past where I've used their crackle paste and their Hydroflow and other products as well. But these are their two brand new sealers, not yet on the market. These are due to be released in the next 10 days across all of the Elichem distributors. They both say the same thing: Hydroflow sealer, apply with a brush, 2+ coats recommended, but they've sent me the eggshell and the satin. Now, I could have made this video 3 minutes long by being utterly lazy and just grabbing some trays that I'd already made on my shelf, because I have a few. But, you know, I really wanted to create something brand new and something just to really play with and have fun with. And I had these ideas in my head and I needed to get them out. So here we are making 3 Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee inspired Jesmonite trinket trays because I had to. I absolutely had to. It's an exciting time and yeah, I really wanted to test out the ideas that I had in my head. So if you are not interested in Jesmonite or these Jubilee trays, then feel free to skip the video. I really would love it if you stayed though, because these are so much fun. Let's talk about the Union Jack, okay? The Union Jack is a very specific design and I'm not doing it justice by hand piping, okay? So let me just tell you in advance, the lines are wobbly, but oh my gosh, how much fun is this? If you're new to my channel, I have done hand piped designs in Jesmonite before and it is fun, and I get a lot of questions about how I wash the bottles afterwards. Honestly, I run. I don't walk. I run to the bathroom where I have a bucket of water sitting and I wash the bottle immediately. It comes out beautifully. Just don't let it dry in the bottle and you are good to go. So here I am just piping out the red detail and it is a bit fiddly and I'm not 100% happy with my lines, but you know what? It's hand piped and it's handmade with love, not perfection, which is what I've said on my channel for the longest time. Now comes the blue section. Now, if you are familiar with the Union Jack, if you know the Union Jack really well, you will know that there are thin and fat lines. So to the right of every white line, there's a fat white line. I'm not really making sense. It basically goes skinny white line, fat white line, skinny white line, fat white line, etc. all the way around the flag. It's not uniform and it's not generic. So, you know, I was really trying my best to capture that in the Union Jack design. But as it was hand piped, and of course I'm shaking because I'm rushing, because Jesmonite is such a fast curing medium, I knew I didn't have much time. So my lines got wobblier and wobblier and they just got squishy and squidgy and skewiffy, if I'm honest. So I did end up going in with a cotton bud just to clean up some of the blue triangles. And unfortunately, this means I lost some of the thin versus fat white lines. So now I'm going to call it Union Jack-esque and not true Union Jack, because the white lines are no longer right. I'll get over it. The next tray, this is another exciting one for me. A few of you have asked me if I've tried alcohol inks in Jesmonite. Now, I know alcohol inks don't colour Jesmonite very well, but I have seen a few people do this where you pour alcohol ink into the mould and then pour your Jesmonite. I've never tried this before. This is the first time I'm trying this, so we will see the results together, and I'm very curious at this point to find out if it stays, if it sticks, or if it stains the mold even. But here I am just pouring on white Jesmonite. I've mixed up enough for all 3 trays. I've added 2% white pigment because I want the white for the Union Jack flag. And then I'm just giving them a shimmy and a shake. For the 3rd tray on the left, I decided I'm going to go with a neat plain red. And for this, I added, I want to say 2% red. I don't think I quite added that. I think I could have got it redder, but it's red enough for me, and I just wanted a plain red tray because I have some really exciting vinyl Cricut details that I want to put on these that I found on the Cricut design space. I was actually really impressed with the Cricut. They had so much on there for Jubilee, for the Platinum Jubilee, the Queen's 70th year. Can you imagine doing a job for 70 years? No. Okay, here we are on demold. Now this is the alcohol ink. I love it. I love it. I didn't know what to expect. I've never tried this before. It reminded me a little bit of when I did the hydro dipping. But yeah, I was rubbing. I was thinking surely this is going to come off, but no, it's stuck fast. It's set in there really, really nicely. And I'm so happy because it's very red, white and blue. Here is my wobbly line Union Jack and I love it. Okay, some of the skinny and the fat lines have kind of disappeared because I used a cotton bud to clean up, but still, I'm still really, really happy with the way they came out. So here they are. I'm going to leave them to dry thoroughly for 24 hours before I go in with some Cricut detail. Now I am going to put my Cricut detail on before I seal. I've done this before, it works a dream and it's absolutely fine to do that. So some people have asked if I seal first, but I don't. I put my Cricut on and then I seal afterwards. It actually works really well with the Cricut anyway. So this design is my very first, there's a lot of firsts in this video. This is my very first layered vinyl piece and I was nervous. Now, I already know that people, when they layer vinyl, when they layer Cricut or whichever brand, other brands are available, that you always have like a reference point or a dot to line up your pieces. But I don't know how to do that yet because there's a lot I don't know. So I was just eyeballing it. My hands were shaking. This was probably the hardest section to get, were the white lines of the Union Jack and then matching it up. But look, I matched even the teeny tiny little triangle. So yeah, I was kind of growing in confidence because this was so intimidating for me. Never layered vinyls before, and I know there are so many amazing techniques in which to make it easier. Like I said, just haven't done it yet. Haven't tried them. I know they exist. But yeah, if you've got the easiest method, then please let me know and I will try it again. But here we are, just peeling back that first layer. So this is a pair of Union Jack lips. I'm telling you, they are so much fun. And Paul, one of my patrons, Paul, even said it reminded him of Ginger Spice. I was like, it actually really does remind me of Ginger Spice and the Spice Girls in general. So the next layer is then to place them onto the red lips. This was fiddly. This took a lot longer than you're seeing on screen. I actually cut out, would you believe, about 2 minutes worth of film trying to line it up. But yeah, because I'm eyeballing it, I'm not using any specific kind of pointer system to help me line them up. I really had to take my time because when vinyl sticks to vinyl, that's it. It's game over. The final layer for these lips is the black background, and this is just going to give them a kind of like an outline, almost like a pen outline. And the black vinyl that I'm using is the only gloss. So this was not intentional, by the way. I make it sound like I know what I'm doing. I don't. I really don't. The red, white and blue were matte vinyls and the black vinyl I had was gloss. And this worked so well because now it's got this gorgeous shimmery outline and I am obsessed with these lips. Obsessed with these lips. I was going to put it on the red tray and then I thought, they're funky, they're really, really funky. So they would work better on the alcohol ink tray, which is a lot more abstract, fun, free-flowing, and I'll put them on there because there's a little bit more rock and roll. Does that make sense? So here I am just scraping. I don't know where I got this scraper from, by the way. I think it might be like a child's sand toolkit. I don't know. Couldn't find my Cricut scraper. But here we are peeling it off and I love these lips. At one point I was like, I need these massive on my kitchen wall. I'm not gonna do that. But you can see the glossy black outline of the lips. I really love it. I'm so happy and I'm so proud I actually did it without making an error, actually. Yeah, I didn't have to recut or anything. So the next design is the crown. In the Cricut design space, I just typed in royal. Royal brought up more crown designs than if I typed in crown. Not sure why. I might be imagining that, but that is how it worked. I typed in royal and that is where I found all of these designs and I absolutely love this crown. I actually was going to go for gold. I cut the gold, but it was so dark. I bought a new Cricut gold and it's so dark, it just did not work. So here we are. We are ready for sealing. So both bottles say to shake well before use, and I gave them both a really strong shake. The lips are going to get the eggshell, and then the crown and the Union Jack are going to get the satin. Now, instructions. You can apply 2+ coats, okay? It does say apply with a brush. Now, I was nervous to use the brush, I'm not going to lie, because I usually use sponges. I use cheap kitchen Tesco sponges. But as soon as I brushed it on, I noticed it soaked in immediately. And then you'll see I poured way too much. So, okay. It is working. The Jesmonite is soaking in. This is real time. You're watching in real time, okay? The Jesmonite is soaking it in thoroughly. But because I'm using a brush and I've put way too much product in, I'm seeing streaks. So here I am, I'm going over to get rid of those streaks, and it's dry. It's dry already. This is real time, dry already. So if you are using this, do not put so much in, because I felt like that very first brush stroke was beautiful. No streaks. It was beautiful, but it soaked in so quickly that I poured more on, and therefore I got some streaks. But I'm going to talk about that again in a minute. Now, second one in, I'm breaking the rules. Sorry, Elichem, I am breaking the rules. I'm going back to my trusted cheap Tesco kitchen sponge, and I'm actually just rubbing it on, and I am telling you, loved the results. Streak free. It's almost got a shine, a shimmery shine, which is great, which is what I know a lot of people that are using, you know, the Hydroflow, the matte kind of acrylics, they do come out matte. So if you do want any kind of shine, then the satin is the one. So this is the eggshell. This one, oh my gosh, I couldn't even see it on there. Like, it is so, what's the word? It soaked in straight away, streak free. It just disappeared on me. It disappeared on me. And I put a decent amount of the eggshell on. So back to the satin, we've definitely got some textured lines on this piece, but it doesn't feel gritty like other sealers that I've used in the past. Has like a gritty textured feeling to it when you rub your fingers over the surface. This doesn't. It still feels quite smooth. But again, I don't think the lines I've left with the paintbrush, I think they were avoidable, and I don't think they look that bad, if I'm honest. But for me, you know, the sponge, oh my gosh, look at this. Absolutely love it. The sponge for me is a winner, but definitely follow the instructions. The instructions say use a paintbrush. But here I am with the eggshell on the lips. And again, second coat going on all three of these. The second coat, beautiful, soaked in like a dream, and really no issues over the vinyl. It's not like the vinyl repels it or makes a weird kind of textured surface. It's absolutely fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 layers. So I'm going to do a third off camera, and this is 5 hours later. I'm doing a water drop test. Now, I don't actually know. I should have gone back and had a chat to Elichem. I'm not sure how long you're meant to leave it. My guess is 24 hours to be, you know, a responsible creator. But I didn't have that time. So this is 5 hours later, and I'm not disappointed. It's definitely repelling. The water is just sitting on the surface very clearly, not soaking in. So really confident about the satin at this point. I'm definitely going to be using this satin. Can you see the shine? Ignore the fact that I put way too much product on and I used a big fat brush, so you can still see some texture on there, but it's not as bad as I've done in the past. Does that make sense? Using another branded acrylic sealer, I've had way more texture on the surface. This is the sponge, the one where I use the sponge, and the same thing again. It's repelling the water really nicely. None of the water is soaking into the surface of the piece. So I'm just showing you me dropping the water on, but then I'm also showing you after I've taken the water away if there are any marks left. If there are any marks left afterwards, then yeah, but there weren't. There really weren't. I absolutely will be using these sealers on my Jesmonite pieces in the future. So this is the crown after I've wiped off the water with the tissue. No marks, no discoloration. it just, yeah, it repelled the water really, really well. But like I said, it should be a 24-hour wait anyway, so don't be like me. Just do it and wait 24 hours. In the world of video making, you just don't have that time sometimes. Okay, so this is the eggshell. Again, the water is simply sitting there. It's not soaking into the surface. It's just sitting. And for the most part, the water is being repelled and it's moving around the tray really, really nicely. I spent a bit more time on this one because the vinyl piece itself was so multi-layered. I really wanted to put it to the test. I wanted to run the water all over the lips, but obviously the water at this point is kind of sticking around the edge of the tray and not coming into the center. So I really wanted to get it into the center and just make sure that this sealer has done its job, even on four layers of Cricut vinyl. It worked a dream. I have to say, out of the two, my heart went straight to the eggshell, but knowing where I went wrong on the satin, I will do that better next time. I just won't pour as much in and, yeah, use the brush properly instead of pouring tons in. But the satin definitely gives us a shimmery sheen. The eggshell, it kind of gives us more of a matte finish, but not matte. Does that make sense? It's not matte. I'm still getting some light reflecting on the tops of my pieces, but really loving these. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is a close-up of the Union Jack where I poured way too much on, way too much. And just keep in mind that it dries before you can even blink. It dries before you can blink. This one's my favourite, the Crown. This is the satin where I used a sponge and I'm loving the finish, okay? So I did break the rules a little bit because I went over to a sponge, but that is my preferred method. Do whatever you think. These are the bottles. We've got the satin and the eggshell. I absolutely loved them. My genuine review is they worked beautifully. I love the finish. Just apply them properly. Don't be like me. Don't put too much in. Apply them properly. I would recommend 3 coats. I did 3 coats. I think they worked. They repelled the water really lovely. And yeah, I would fully recommend. Fully recommend. So keep your eyes out for the Elichem launch of these 2 new sealers. For me, they worked perfectly. I hope they do for you too. And I will put the details for Elichem down below. Really appreciate them sending them to me because honestly, I know we've all been going a little bit crazy out here with no sealers on the market. So yeah, I'm really grateful. They've worked a treat. So I hope you found this video helpful regarding the sealers, but also I hope you enjoyed my creativity because I am in love with these Platinum Jubilee inspired pieces. Let me know your thoughts on those as well. So let me know both. If you're still here, thank you so much. We're nearly 18 minutes in. I massively appreciate the fact that you're still here. Miracle. And if you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on any videos. And do not forget to give this video a thumbs up because if you do not do that, I will not grow. And I really need that thumbs up more than anything. Leave a comment down below and hopefully I will get back to you very soon. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.